Bulls Nation, the third game of the Summer League for the Chicago Bulls have come to an end. And to be honest, I'll never, ever say I regret watching a Chicago Bulls game, because the passion and love for a team, whether it's in the Summer League, preseason, regular season, playoffs, it's always going to be there. But if you were going to plan to watch this game afterwards, I would strongly recommend that you don't do it unless you are a Chicago Bulls fanatic. This game was extremely boring to watch, and there were a lot of negatives in this game, and we're going to be talking a little bit about it in this video. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls versus Minnesota Timberwolves game reaction for the Chicago Bulls. The third game of the Summer League, in the end, was probably our worst by far, and it exactly shows in the score of this game. And as I said before, if there was a game I would say to miss out on from this Summer League appearance, I would say this game is the one to do it. This was a very poor game in my opinion from the Chicago Bulls. Our players, some of our better players as well, things need to be stepped up and things need to be rectified from this game. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls game today. You're about to witness probably one of the lowest scoring games pretty much ever from the Chicago Bulls. This game was a 78-59 loss. The Timberwolves also struggled in this game, but the fact that the Chicago Bulls struggled 10 times worse than them is pretty outstanding, to be honest. And again, this is the Summer League. I'm not going to go too hard on these players. At the end of the day, they're young players and they are struggling at the moment. And we don't really have a team that can light it up from the three-point line. We don't really have a great offensive team whatsoever outside of a few players here and there. However, with that being said, you need to say what's on your mind. I'm not gonna hide from the fact that I thought this was a pretty negative performance, and that might piss a lot of people off. That might make a lot of people not want to watch the video. But I'm never gonna hide, and I'm never gonna not be honest. When I think something's bad, I'll say something's bad. I thought this game was bad, and as I said, unless you're a Chicago Bulls fanatic, I suggest you don't watch this game. I suggest you don't even pay attention to this game, because this game was a whole lot of nothing, in my opinion, from the Chicago Bulls. It was very upsetting to look at the, I guess, the big negatives of this game. First things first, the turnovers again was a massive issue. Once again, the Chicago Bulls obtained 15 turnovers in this game, and the fact that you're shooting around 25-ish% from the field and you're having 15 turnovers a game, that's not good enough. Again, that really shows how poorly designed our structure was for this game, and also the execution from the players on this team. It was poor every single way. From the first quarter to the fourth quarter, it was really poor. The first half in general for both sides was put to sleep type of situation. That was how bad it was. No one was making shots. No one was really performing. No one was really doing anything outside of playing solid defense. That's one thing I will give this team. This team defensively, the Chicago Bulls team, was not bad compared to what you saw in the first game. I think defensively we improved the second game. The second game was elite defense. I don't think this was bad defense from the Chicago Bulls today. And it shows from the Minnesota Timberwolves shooting percentages. I believe they shot around 38%, 38.5% from the field, which is still very low. And the Chicago Bulls did well to play some solid defense. But of course, we've said this before, we'll say it again. If this team's not running out in transition, this is not a really terrific team, in my opinion. You have to rely on a lot of isolation, a lot of get to the basket, a lot of screens, but no real set plays. No plays for the star players like Patrick Williams. No plays for Marco, who is a very good scoring center. No plays for any of these guys. Basically, what we're doing is pretty much just playing isolation ball. I did not like this game whatsoever today. The defense on this team was solid, but everything else seemed to be lackluster. Everything else seemed to be poor. And I hope this is not the style that we're planning to play, even with our players like DeRozan, Lonzo, Zach, Vucevic, because if we're going to play like this and we're going to be relying on a lot of isolation and nothing else, we're going to be in trouble. This team, at the end of the day, young team, promising team, a lot of good performances from our star player Patrick Williams. 3 solid games in my opinion, and he's turning out to be solid. But outside of that, they're struggling here. We are struggling here. And the fact that you have players that are not on contracts outperforming the Chicago Bulls players that are in this squad is concerning. So if this is going to be something that to go by, the Chicago Bulls might have some decisions to make on some of our players. But again, it's too early to say that. The Summer League's still a long way to go. As the commentator said, it's going to take time to get this team to gel offensively. Defensively, we seem to have it down. Offensively, we are far from a really good team at all. So we need to work offensively on how to get this team better. Again, if you're not running out in transition, you're not going to get the best out of this team. And we did not run out in transition. Therefore, we didn't get the best out of this team. Plain and simple. And the fact that we scored 58 points today, 59 points today, that's like under 12 level, to be honest. Again, I'm not going to go, I may have already went too harsh on these players, but I'm not going to say that this is overly devastating, but it's still not a great sight to see. I'm going to talk about some players that at the end of the day does not get mentioned. I'm going to talk about players that need to step up. First things first, Patrick Williams, once again, played very well in this game. He had 18 points. He had 18 points, 1 steal, 3 assists, 10 rebounds. He had 6 turnovers, and that's a negative for Patrick Williams. He's dribbling into a lot of traffic, and he can't keep the ball. He needs to clean up his ability to dribble with both hands and his ability to dribble in traffic. It needs to be cleaned up a lot. But again, someone that needs to be aggressive like Patrick Williams to push that into his game, you're going to expect turnovers at the early stages. And that's something that's not accustomed to him. But I'm fine with these turnovers because he's trying his best to become the leader and aggressive. And scoring-wise, he's still a fantastic player. He had 50% from the three-point line today, 40% overall. It was a solid game in scoring-wise. And, yeah, of course, he's a well-known, really good rebounder. This guy's only 19. But still, he was our best player today. Marcus Simic, 10 points, 10 points, 1 steal, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. 2 rebounds for a center is very poor, especially one that played 21 minutes today. 10 points, pretty solid. He had a lot of paint shots and whatnot. At the end of the day, I guess this is the best out of a bad bunch in many ways, Patrick Williams and Marcus Simic. But there are players that are really outperforming some of the players that are really on this team. Some players that have contracts on this team. Some players we expect to play on this team next season. Some players are outperforming these guys. And that is a problem. For players that have young experience and a young team with contracts guaranteed to them pretty much, they need to step up a lot more than what they have. And we're going to talk about 2 players now that I didn't think have terrific games. Ayo Dosunmu, he had 2 points, 1 block, he had 5 rebounds, and that's about it. The block was great. Defensively, I still think Ayo Dosunmu is pretty talented, and I'll never take that away from him. It looks like defensively he's going to be very solid at the NBA level. His offense can't seem to get the job done. He shot 14% from the field today. It's not good enough in my opinion. And again, this is the Summer League, and these are the times that people need to get better. People need to learn who they are and learn how to play in systems that we plan to use in the preseason and the regular season. However, these players do need the criticism. It's not always going to be a fantastic journey when it comes to the Summer League. These players deserve criticism as much as they deserve praise. I'm not trying to be overly harsh because I hate these players. I want most of these players to succeed. You want Patrick Williams to be a star. I want Patrick Williams to be a star. You want Marcus Simic to be a better version than Larry Marketing. I want Marcus Simic to be a better version than Larry Marketing because he's going to be here. Ayo Dosunmu is from Chicago. Of course I want him to succeed. I love the fact that a hometown kid comes and plays for his team and wants to do well. And they need to be criticized when they do have poor games or when they're not living up to that potential. It's nothing personal, but it's just, in my opinion, things like this do need to be said. These players do need to be called out if there is bad performances here. Devon Dotson only played 11 minutes and he had 2 points. I'm not sure what happened with Devon Dotson. I don't know why he didn't play. And I hope everything's okay in relation to that. But 11 minutes is by far, outside of maybe Simishitsu, the lowest on the team. So again, hopefully Devon Dotson's all good. I really don't know what happened to him. I don't really have anything to say to that. He had 2 points and 1 steal. Yeah, that's all I really have to say on this situation. Those were the players that struggled. But there are players that are outperforming these players. For example, I believe Ethan Thompson had 7 points in this game. He also had 2 blocks in this game, and he had 6 rebounds. Ethan Thompson has had tremendous play for 3 games now. He's outperformed some of our players. So fair play to him. I think he deserves the praise that people would be giving him. You also had players like Jalen Adams that had 9 points, that also had 1 assist, 3 rebounds, I believe, or 5 rebounds. Solid game from Jalen Adams. Again, outperforming some of our other players. It is what it is. This is a situation we need to look at closely, and these are the situations where a lot of our better players, the ones that we want to give the minutes to, needs to step up. Simple as that. It's nothing personal. When you see your team score 59 points in a game that's 40 minutes long, it's not going to be a positive video. I hope you guys understand that, and hopefully you guys think I'm being fair, because I think I'm being fair. I think these players do need some criticism when it doesn't go their way. And let's see what happens in the next game. What I want to see improved, of course, reduce turnovers. The same thing as against the Spurs. Reduce turnovers, absolutely. It's as simple as that. There's nothing else to say. We need to reduce turnovers. There's no other way to put it. That needs to be something that needs to be rectified. We need to figure out how to play a different style of basketball outside of running from transition. When teams have that nailed down, we become way too one-dimensional and we end up not flourishing as a team. If we're going to find ways to run out on the fast break, great. That's when we're going to get our most effective players. That's when you see Ayo Dosunmu play very, very well. Even Devon Dotson would play very well in a fast break system. Patrick Williams, we all know, can play well in a fast break system because he's done it on the Bulls team. So these are things that if we're going to get out on the fast break, we need to figure out better ways to do that. But we also need a plan B and a plan C, because it seems that this one-dimensional style of basketball where we're just screening and going into the paint and taking ridiculous shots and you're getting really highlight play blocks for the other teams pretty much, it's just not really a great sight to watch, and it truly wasn't. This game was definitely something I did not enjoy watching. I would never say I regret watching basketball. I'll never say I regret watching the Bulls, but this is definitely a game that I did not enjoy watching whatsoever. And those are the things that need to be rectified. We have 3 days off, I believe, until our next game against the Memphis Grizzlies. These 3 days off, I want to see a lot of these players working very, very hard to try and rectify a poor performance like this, because this performance under any stage is unacceptable. If this was a real NBA game, by real I mean if these players actually played for an NBA team and they were versing an elite NBA team, I would expect them to score more than 59 points. I expect most teams, G League and the like, to score more than 59 points at the NBA level. That's really poor in my opinion. That's something that, again, it shouldn't be tolerated. It shouldn't be accepted, and I'm not accepting it. It's not great, and it's not going to be a good sight to see. I'm going to end this video here. I'll keep it shorter compared to the other ones. Again, negativity is not something I want to spread around this channel, but again, criticism needs to be had. And I'll do this in the regular season as well. When players don't perform to their capabilities, I want them to be held accountable for that. And this is what I'm doing. I'm holding players accountable, and these players will hold themselves accountable. They know well and truly this was a very poor performance and a very bad showing by them. They will hold themselves accountable just like we're holding them accountable. And hopefully they can find a way to make it up to us in the next game against Memphis. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Patrick Williams is still going to be a great player, don't get me wrong. Just because he had really poor performance in terms of turnovers, this kid's going to be good. And you even saw that in this game as well. He's going to be good. Take care and peace.